Cragg. Gulliver, if you can hear me, I was asking you what the situation is like now in Kherson.
Yes, I hope you can hear me now. So I was saying that people had been speculating that the Russians might be about to withdraw from Kherson because of these evacuations, not only of civilians, but of the political collaborationist leadership put in place by the Russian occupiers. But now, although people in Ukraine, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry in particular, is not ruling out that that might be what the Russians eventually do, the consensus opinion seems to be coalescing around the idea that the Russians are actually preparing to defend the city. And these stories of Russian soldiers now being in civilian clothes and moving into people's homes there would suggest that that is their strategy. And so the Ukrainians are very wary of the idea of falling into some kind of trap by the apparent departure from Kherson of significant proportions of the Russian military. They think that they're not really leaving and they want to defend the city. But also, that's not perhaps as imminent as some people might have been thinking it was until quite recently, because the Ukrainian armed forces are still at their closest point, some 25 kilometers from Kherson, and at other points, the front line is more than 100 kilometers away. They're having a great deal of difficulty advancing. Apparently, that's in quite large parts due to the mud, which means that they can only use tanks and not wheeled armored vehicles, and perhaps they just haven't got enough tanks. It is striking when you speak to Ukrainian soldiers in all parts of the front line how much emphasis they place on the need to get more equipment from their Western partners. Now, some 90 T-72 tanks from the Czech Republic, but being refurbished by the Americans, are to be on their way to Ukraine pretty soon. But as I understand it, they're not going to start arriving until December. So it may be that the real push to take Kherson is still a few weeks away yet.
All right, Gulliver, thanks for that. France 24's Gulliver Cragg in Kyiv.